Hi everyone, I'm Herman, and this is my final project. It's about sentiment analysis of stock news using AWS Comprehend and AWS SDK for Python. Okay, let's continue. So this is the plan for today. So I'll talk a little bit about the project background and then the architecture diagram, and then I'll briefly demo the Amazon Comprehend, and then we'll do the complete setup of IAM user, uh, AWS SDK Python and S3 bucket. And then we'll take a closer look at the Python code behind the sentiment analysis application that I developed. And then we'll do the full demo of the application. Okay. So as a background, so I work in the financial market. So I work as an equity portfolio manager. And that job requires me to follow any developing news relevant to the stocks in my portfolio. So I need to have an easy to use tool that can be used to summarize the sentiments of recent stock news related to the ones in my portfolio. Otherwise, I can be overwhelmed because like in any week, I can read hundreds of stock news. So it's really time consuming and it's really a huge task. So this is just a preview. So this is the stock sentiment analysis that I developed using Python. So on the left, you can see the main screen, the main menu. So basically, it's very easy to use. You just enter the stock picker and you specify how many recent news you want to retrieve from the FinFish. It's public website that you can retrieve as many as you want. Okay, but I think there is a limit of 100 every time you request the stock news. I think there's a limitation of 100. And then you can save it into S3, the sentiment scores that are returned by the AWS Comprehend. And in my application, you can also plot the scores. So the display of the score is on the right side. So that's an example. So you can see like the breakdown of the sentiment by positive, negative, neutral, and mixed, right? So you can see the trend. So for target, the recent stock news, 20 recent stock news, it seems like the positive sentiment have been increasing the green ones. So this is the application that we'll set up for this live demo, okay? So this is the architecture diagram that I use. So basically, it's very simple. So basically, I will use the AWS SDK for Python, Portal 3, and the Python code, the Python script to communicate with FinFish. That's the source of the news. And then also to communicate with the Amazon Comprehend to retrieve all the sentiment analysis scores from AWS Comprehend. And then I will also use the bottle tree to interact with the Amazon S3 bucket because I want to save the sentiment score analysis and the plot into Amazon S3 so that I can use it for future reference. Okay. So with that, let's go to Amazon Comprehend. So just so you guys can see like how easy it is to do sentiment analysis using Amazon Comprehend. Uh, Hold on. Okay. And then hold on. It's okay. So this is Amazon Comprehend. So you just you click this thing, and then you can input now. It's very easy to use. So you just enter here the news that you want to analyze. So maybe let's go to Google and try to get any recent news on uh, website on stock. So let's say, okay, let's just open this website and let's just copy this news and then we enter it into Amazon Comprehend. Okay, see, I just copy and paste, and then we just click analyze. So once we click analyze, then you can see here, these are all the entities, the important entities that the Amazon Comprehend detect. So quantity, date, so the type of entities are like quantity, date, event, organization, and so on. But that's not the thing that we are interested. We're interested in the sentiment analysis score. So once you click analyze, you can go to the sentiment tab. Now, this is the final result that we want to use. So it will return the sentiment by the tone, like neutral. It has like 95% confidence, positive is 3% confidence, negative and mixed 0. So basically, the total of the sentiment scores have to sum up to 1, right? So it's like 0.98. So there must be something zero early to values in the negative and mixed sentiment. So that's it. So that's how you use the sentiment analysis from Amazon Comprehend. Again, you just enter the text here and then you click analyze. That's it. So there's no magic. It's very simple. It's very good. Okay, so let's go back to our presentation again. Okay, so I have shown you how to use the Amazon Comprehend briefly. It's very easy. Okay, so now we are going to do what we are going to do is we are going to set up the IAM user, AWS SDK Python, the Boto tree, the Python environment, and the S3 bucket. Okay, so with that, let's go here and hold on. Let me open my final report because in my final report, I have created the manual. Okay. So this is my final report, and it has the steps to install everything. Okay, so let's set up the IAM user first. So let me go back here. I'll go to IAM user. Yeah. And then, okay, let's create a new IAM user. Okay, here. So you see, I currently have like three IAM user right now, but let's create a new one. Let's call it Herman Final Project Demo. And then we just click next. So we want to give it a programmatic access, but we'll do it later. So just click next. Herman Final Project Demo, click next. And then we want to give permission by giving the policies, the individual policies directly. So we click here. And then since we are dealing with Amazon Comprehend, so let's find it. Comprehend. So for this project, I'll give it full access of the Amazon Comprehend. Okay, so let's choose this one. And then since we'll also be dealing with S3, let's give it also access to S3. So let's choose this one, the Amazon full tree S3 full access. Okay, so now you can see that for the permission policies, I have selected 2 out of the 1300 available options. Okay, so now click next. Okay, so this is a summary. So the username will be the Herman Final Project Demo, and it has 2 permissions, which is the Amazon S3 full access and the Comprehend full access. Okay, okay, and then we just click create user. Okay, so this is This is the result. So you can see that my Herman final project demo is already created. So now we want to create the access key. No, no, I mean, yeah, we want to create the access key. So we go here and then uh, we go to the security credentials tab. Then, since we want to give the programmatic access to this user, we have to create the access key. So let's just click the create access key. Now we choose the local code here, and then for the confirmation, just check it and then click next. Just skip this, just create access key. Okay, so this is the access key. So for this demo, it's fine to show you the access key and the secret access key because I will delete it later. But for your case, just keep it confidential. Okay, so I'm going to open Notepad. Let me open it again. Notepad. And then I'm going to copy the code. Hold on. Okay, that's the access key. And then I'm going to copy the secret access key also. Secret key. We are going to use this one to set up the environment later. Or you can also download the CSV file. Okay. So if you open the CSV file, it's just like this. It has two field access key and uh, the secret key. Okay, I'm going to close it. Okay, so click yeah. So click done. So basically we have set up the IAM user with programmatic access successfully. So once we if you want to review this is the review of the user Herman final project demo, and it already has the access key. Okay, so now with that, uh, let's see. We are finished with creating this one, and then so basically these are all the steps. Okay, now let's do the setup of the environment for the Python code. Okay. So let's go to our terminal. And so I'm just going, so we are going, so we open a terminal and then we are going to create a new Python. So I'm just going to copy this one. So this is my final report and it already has the detailed uh, user guide. So for this Python code, let's say final, let's name it to final project Sunday. Okay. And then I'm going to be using Python. I'm going to install Python version 3. So now let's create the environment. So now it's going to download all the necessary components. So yeah, click enter yes. Okay, so it's done. So it has finished creating the environment. So now we are going to activate the Python environment. So I'm just copying Conda activate final project Sunday, and then we activate it. So now we are in the final project Sunday environment. Okay, so let's clear the screen, and then so we are finished with this step. I have activated the environment. So now we are going to start installing the individual packets, individual libraries. So first we have to install the AWS client. So we are going to do it by pip install AWS CLI. So that's what I am going to do here. Okay. Okay, it's finished. So let's clear the screen again. Now, next, I want to install the AWS as software development kit for Python called Boto3. So pip install Boto3 and then click enter again. Well, it's fast. Okay, it's finished. So let's clear it again. Next. Okay, so for my project, we are going to use 6 Python libraries. They are LXML, HTML clean, Matplotlib, newspaper 3K, pandas, request, and seaboard. So let's just copy this comment. So I'm going just to paste it here and then click enter. Okay. So it's working. So it's going to take a while. Okay. So it's finished. Let's clear the screen again. So what is the next step? So, okay, now with the environment almost set up, we need to create the config and the credentials files so that our Python scripts can communicate with the AWS services. Okay, so now let's go to our terminal again. And if you don't have the dot, if you don't have the AWS directory, you have to create it. If you don't have it, you just have to type it like this, mkdir.aws. But since I already have the a.aws directory, I don't need to create it. So I'm going to go to yeah, I'm going to that directory by this command line. So now I'm in the .aws directory, and if you do an ls, so you can see I only have one file, and that file is just a backup. But basically, I don't have the config and the credentials yet, right? So now I'm going to create the config file first. Let's use the any text editor. So I'm just going to use the nano editor, nano, and then uh, config. Okay. So what should we put in the config? Simple. It's just these two. So default and then region equals ap.sort is -1. Because I reside in Asia, I'm going to use the Singapore region for AWS. So we're going to save it. Okay, now if I do more config, yes, it's right there. Okay, so now we're going to do, we are going to create the credentials, credentials, and I'm going to copy this one. Okay, so this is the access key of my previous example. Uh, It's not important because I already deleted that uh, uh, user. So we are going to copy and paste the access key that we just created. So this is the access key. We're going to paste it here, and then we're also going to copy and paste the secret key and just paste it here. Okay, so we are set up. We can save it. So now, if I do more credentials, yep, you can see the access key and the secret access key. And then if I do ls again, now you see that I have the config and the credentials required files. Okay, so we have set up the Python code environment, and let's see what I need to do else. Okay, so now we are going to create the S3 bucket. Okay, so let's go back to Amazon AWS and click the S3. So right now, I already have like 2 buckets that I've been testing for my final project, but for this demo purpose, let's create a new one. So let's create bucket, and then let's name the bucket demo final project Sunday. Okay. And then we just keep all the existing default options. Yep. Nothing, we're not going to change anything. Okay. So what I did just now is just like give the bucket name a unique name, and then keep all the default options the same, and then create bucket. Click the create bucket. Oops. Oh, it's not. Oh, okay. It has invalid correct character, so let's use dash instead of the underscore. Okay, and then create bucket. Okay, so I think we are set up. So this is demo final project Sunday. And currently it's still empty because we haven't put any files in it, right? So once we run our application and we have saved the file, it will appear here. So let's go back to my report. I think it's finished. Yep. Okay, so now what we do is we need to let's go back to our presentation. Okay, so basically we have set up all the environment, and also we have set up the IAM user with programmatic access. We have created the S3. Okay, so basically before we run the code, before we run the sentiment analysis application code that I built, I just want to give you an overview of the Python code structure behind that application. Okay, so basically the Python code structure it has like 4 key functions. The first one is called the fetch finfish news. This is a function where we are going to use to retrieve the news from stock news from the finfish website. And then analyze sentiment. This is the main function to communicate with the AWS Comprehend. So we pass all the stock news to AWS Comprehend, and it will return all the sentiment scores. And save to S3, basically, this is a function where I use to save all the analysis from the AWS Comprehend to S3. Save plot is also a function where I use to save the generated plot into S3. Okay, so this is this is the top lines in my Python codes. So basically, it's going to import all the required libraries. But the main important thing is you have to specify the region name correctly and the S3 bucket name correctly. So we are going to change this later, okay? Because it's not a demo bucket NLP. I forgot what it is. It has something Sunday with it, but we'll do it later. Uh, and then next. So this is like how this is the like just like a small snippet of the Fed's FinFish news. So this is how I interact with the FinFish website. Okay, just like this. URL blah 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 headers response equal request dot get URL. Okay, next. This is a closer look at the snippet for the analyze sentiment function. So at the top, you that's how I interact with the Amazon Comprehend. So comprehend underscore client equals photo3 dot client comprehend region name US is what? Okay, and that's it. In the bottom, you can see the response. Response equal comprehend underscore client dot detect underscore sentiment, and then we pass the stock news. Yeah, that's it. That's how you do it. And this one is the save to S3 function. So the one in the yellow box is S3 underscore client equals photo3 dot client, and then you specify its S3 and then the region name. Okay. And next is the save plot function. So at the inside the yellow box, again, that's how I interact with the S3. So S3 underscore client equals photo3 dot client, and then we specify S3 the region name, and then S3 underscore client dot put underscore object to put the files into S3. Okay, so that's it. So that's the basically the main structure of the Python codes for my sentiment analysis application. Okay, so now we're going to do the full demo of the simple sentiment analysis application. I'm going to use PyCharm. Okay, so this is the PyCharm code, the PyCharm application. Let me scroll to the top. Now I need to change the bucket name, right? What's the bucket name again? I forgot. So let's go to S3. Oh, it's demo final project Sunday. Where's my Python code? Okay, that's it. I think uh, I think we're ready to run it as all the environment is set up properly. I hope so. So let's run it. Okay, so this is how you do it. So let's say I want to analyze a stock. Let's just target the stock ticker is TGT, and then let's say I want to retrieve 50 most recent news. So I'll just enter 50 in the number of news field, and then we just click the analyze sentiments. Okay, it's still running. Usually it will take about 1 minute. So let's wait. Hmm. So in the back, so if you see here, so if there's any news that it has read, but it cannot retrieve the news body, it will print my Python code will give you the information like which site it is that it cannot read. So maybe like from 50, so we enter 50 news, right? So if there is one, then the total news that are retrieved is only 49 because one cannot be opened, right? Okay, it's still retrieving the news. It's going to take a while. Hopefully it's working fine. Okay, why it's not finished yet? Maybe it's still reading. Yep, yes, I think it's still reading. So this is the second site that it cannot retrieve. It will skip it. Hmm. Let's just be patient a bit. Hmm. Okay, it's done. Woo! It was successful. So now you can see here, like in the news details frame, it returns all the news that it retrieved from the Finfish. So this is the first news. It's about target extend store hours, blah blah blah, and this is the news body. And then here you can see this is the second news. Target Corp, the best apartment stock to buy now, and this is the news body also. And then if you scroll down in the news details, so basically it will display all the news that are retrieved from the FinVis. Okay. So if you keep scrolling down, yeah. So okay. So here's the interesting thing. So it says news number 47, right? But I was trying to retrieve 50 stocks and it only written 47 stocks. That means there are three websites, three news that it cannot read, right? So in the Python code, it's true. There were three news links that were not able to be retrieved, right? So 50 minus 3 is 47, right? Okay, so in the sentiment analysis results frame, the region in the bottom, you can see all the sentiment analysis scores and sentiment done by the AWS Comprehend. So uh, there should be 47. Yep, there are only 47 sentiment analysis scores because three links cannot be retrieved, right? Okay, so these are all the results of the AWS Comprehend behind the scene, right? So if we want to save the analysis to the S3, we just click the save analysis to S3. It's working. The analysis is already saved to S3. And then if you want to see the plot of the scores, we just click the plot scores. Yep, that's the plot. So you can see right away how easy it is like to see the trends of the stock news on target. So we can see clearly that like the positive lines are starting to picking up right? So that means there are more and more positive news regarding Target. Okay, let's close the plot. Now, if you want to save the plot, you can also do it by clicking the Save Plot. Okay, it's working fine. Finally, since we are finished, let's click Quit. Okay, done. Okay, now to prove it's working, that my final project is working, so let's go to the buckets. And I think this is the, yeah, let's click the demo final project Sunday, the one that we just created just now. It should have two files. Let's refresh it. Yep. Wow, it's working. So let's click this one, the PNG file, and then open it. Voila, it's the plot that we saw earlier. It's already saved in the uh, S3. And then let's go back here and open the CSV file. Okay. Now we can open it. Let's open it. Okay. So this is what's inside the CSV file that we save into S3. So basically, it has the stock ticker since we retrieve the target stock news. The stock ticker is target, and then the sentiment columns. These are all the sentiment analysis written by AWS Comprehend. So you see neutral, positive, and so on. And for its sentiment, AWS Comprehend also have the scores. So these are all the positive scores, negative scores, neutral, mix, and this is the title news. Okay. And I mean the news title, and this is the news body. The news body, it's a lot. What's inside the news body is it's much longer than the news title. And then we also save the URL, right? And then the date. So this way, like if you want to go to the URL, you can just copy and copy and paste and go to the URL yourself. Okay, right? So now let's go back to our presentation. So I've shown you the live demo, and basically this is what we did just now. So enter the stock ticker, the number of articles, click analyze sentiment, and then save it. And then this is what we saw earlier. We just click the plot button, it will plot. And this is like this is the proof that we already saved it to the S3 bucket. And this is the CSV file that I just shown you earlier. Okay. And that's it. That's all what what I wanted to show you in this live demo. So hopefully you can see the power of AWS Comprehend to do stock analysis, and using also the power of AWS Software Development Kit for Python S3, because like we use the Auto3 to communicate intensively with the AWS Comprehend S3. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much for the course. Hopefully you like my project and you can see how interesting it is to do AWS Comprehend sentiment analysis. Okay, thank you, and let's stop the recording.